Hey everyone, it's Flying Kraken here, and today we have a really big announcement. We have the announcement of the new Hearthstone expansion, which is Murder at Castle Nathria. Now, I will say that when they put out the teaser, I did straight out call it. I said, wouldn't it be really cool? I was like, how are you going to do Castle Nathria? It's a brand new location. Recently in Shadowlands expansion for World of Warcraft, so it's a bunch of brand new stuff, a bunch of new characters and all that stuff. But how are they going to incorporate this into a set or whatever? You know, I don't think they can do a whole set on just the castle or whatever. You know, I said, what if they did like a murder mystery party? And funny enough, that's what we're getting. We're getting a murder, like a Clue D&D style thing, I think it seems like. And I'm ready to watch this trailer and talk about whatever they reveal in it. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer, not waste any time. Let's go, guys. This is starting out like the teaser. Oh, love the logo. That's really cool. Very creepy.
And welcome to Castle Nathria. You've been called here today because
so we're seeing like a D&D thing, game master, like a GM,
yes,
you know,
it's terrible.
a DM, a dungeon
Sire
master, something like that, you know.
has been murdered.
Double gas.
And
Yeah,
you
so
are here
Nathrius
to
is
solve this
murdered.
crime
You
by
know, I
playing
doubt he's
a
actually
game.
dead.
Do we get
Yeah, so it's like
dice?
Clue. Yeah,
I'm
like
pro
they said.
rolling
Yeah.
dice.
No, no, there's no dice in this game. Liv, we're playing Hearthstone. There's no dice in Hearthstone.
Oh.
Okay, so here's what we know.
We have our
so
normal
far.
like kind
Sire
of
Denathrius
acting
invited
out
his
format.
enemies over as guests to an elegant soiree at
The past couple
Castle
one have been a little bit
Nathria.
cringy,
Everything was going really
but
great,
let's see how
but
this one
suddenly,
is.
Sire Denathrius was murdered, and this party turned into a crime scene. Oh, goodness. So now you are tasked with investigating and finding out who done it. We have a wide array
This is a
of
really
locations
cool
and
idea
suspects available to investigate.
because you
So
can
grab your
have like a
magnifying
bunch of
glass,
like
Liv,
people from
twirl
different
that
parts of
mustache,
World of Warcraft
and
lore
Belle,
come
what
as
are we
party
talking
guests,
about?
right?
This
They
is
don't
a
have to be
deer
from this
stalker.
area of
I
WoW.
need a deer stalker
So I
cat
like
to
this
summon
idea.
my
I
inner
like
sleuth.
I like
time for
ideas like this
this.
in
You have to
Hearthstone
become
because I think
detectives
having to go
and
to a
solve
certain
this
location to
crime.
get a certain
Okay,
character
now
a
you're
lot
gonna
of
be
times
up
is very
first.
restrictive for
Alright.
them.
I
So I like ideas like this.
Murloc Holmes to assist
Murloc
in
Holmes. Murloc Holmes. Valkyrie saw clues
Wise
from
choice.
cards and get copied. So what is
Okay, You
clues?
played Murloc Holmes.
Okay, I mean we should
and
read
now
clues
you
because
need to
it's a
find
mystery, right? So
3 clues. First, you will investigate which of these 3 cards were in your opponent's starting hand. If you're correct, you'll move
I
on
mean,
to which of these
depending
3
on
cards
what's
are
meta and stuff like
currently in
that,
their
this
hand.
is
If you
fairly
get both of those right,
easy,
you're gonna be
right?
prompted to guess
It
which
depends,
of these
you
3
know.
cards is
This is the
currently
weird
in their
thing.
deck.
Oh.
If you guess all 3 correctly, you will be rewarded for your skills of deduction with copies of all 3 cards.
The game
Ooh,
is
it doesn't have like
Let
a.
us
You have to
observe
guess
the
all
same
3.
in-depth.
Ooh, what's this?
I
What's that
suspect
border?
That is where Sire
Is this like enchantments?
Untimely
Is this like
demise.
enchantments from Magic?
Locations are a new card type that you
Locations.
play into the battlefield. They have activatable effects. Using the effect won't cost you any mana, but they will lose 1 durability, and after you use the effect, they will go on cooldown for 1 turn.
Okay,
it's really
I like
important
that.
you
Fair.
Plan out your turns accordingly to use these locations effects.
Takes up a board space, so they
Unlike
have a
minions,
cost, kinda.
Locations don't have attack or health, so they actually can't be damaged or destroyed unless a card specifically says so.
I'd like to search for clues.
Ooh, okay. So
I like that.
you
It's like
look
enchantments.
around and you see some chains on
We've
the
talked about this
ground,
before on the
a group of
stream,
spooky-looking
where
jailers
like
in
we
the
need
corner
more
of the
cards in
crowd,
Hearthstone where you can
their
click on the
arms
activate
and
effects.
Did you say wave? Like
Because it kind of
primordial.
like right now, they
Nobody
kind of
said
been
that.
restricted
I
to
got
battle
it.
cries and death
Eureka.
rattles a lot, you
The
know.
person who wanted to do the murder used primordial wave to murder us.
3 mana, transform enemies
They must
one.
have used this
Oh, we're going back to
transformed
evolve
an
and
African
devolve for
frog
shaman.
before
Okay,
squishing
this
it.
card seems pretty fair
Farther
though.
Primordial Wave is a shaman spell.
It seems pretty fair
This
because
location
you
card says warrior.
it also
That's
evolves
pretty
yours
smart,
while
yeah.
devolving
Okay,
yours,
so
so
I
you
wanna
can't like
question
unless you evolve
somebody
into something with charge,
around
which
the
is
area.
very like not
Liv,
likely.
that's a
Then
really good idea.
you
On the
don't
floor,
just get immediate
right in
attack.
front of you,
So that's pretty
you
fair,
can't
I think.
miss
That's probably
him,
one of the fairer
is
ones
an
I've seen.
emaciated-looking priest of the
Taunt
deceased,
infused
who's
3.
been
What is
drained of all of his
infused?
anima. This priest
Anima,
of the
okay.
deceased has the brand new infuse keyword, which means he needs anima to regain his lost strength. Infused cards in your hand will drink in the lost anima whenever a friendly minion dies. And once they collect enough, they'll
Okay,
transform
so
into more powerful
that's cool.
versions of
Okay, I see. That's cool.
themselves, complete with
I'm out
more
about
work.
that.
Let me see.
Okay, so like you know, the infused are gonna have things when they die. I assume there's gonna be a spell,
I think I've got
maybe.
it. I know who done it. and I'm ready to conclude my investigation.
But we just started.
I'm sure it'll be a
playing.
one-man
Okay,
infuse
well,
card.
let's hear it.
I believe that Sire Denathrius was murdered by none
What?
other
Who?
than Decimator Ulgra.
Decimator Ulgra is back.
For the vanquished.
Valor, you change all attack. Oh, this is a really good defensive card for Warrior.
Down to the sanguine depths, a location
Very
deep
good against
within
aggro.
Castle
It's a little bit
Nathria,
expensive against aggro. Oh,
away
his
from the
face
rest
too.
of the party.
Okay.
There, she overpowered
Are we getting
him
like a
with
damage?
Conqueror's
Are we going back
Banner,
to like damage
a
rush
weapon
warrior
that has
kind of?
coincidentally gone missing. And that is elementary, my dear friend.
That's preposterous.
Well, Detective Liv, why is it preposterous?
Well, I rolled a 16 for preposterousness, so I'm pretty sure it's preposterous. And to prove it,
Honestly,
I've
this has
decided
been
to choose
really
Prince
well
Renathal
acted out.
to assist
It's
me
not too
in the
cringy.
investigation.
Like there's gonna be some out. Prince Renathal. Your deck size is starting up to
Building a deck
40.
with Prince Renathal will let you recruit 10
What?
more cards to join your investigation. You'll also start the game with 10 more health.
Oh, okay. So they're
If you
finally
log
doing
in
this.
right now, you can receive
Oh,
the Prince
we get this
Renathal
today?
legendary card for free.
Okay,
Liv, you,
interesting. Wow,
aren't
before a
exactly
Masters
picking the full
tour,
deck here,
interesting.
so
They're doing
you
it
are gonna
again,
need
I
all the help
guess.
you can get.
Prince Renathal is not going to lead me astray. So
This
we'd like
seems
to
very
investigate
game
the dungeon.
warping. Maybe not right now.
Okay,
There's not a lot of cards in the
so
pool right
it's
now for
dark,
Hearthstone,
but
so
you can
there might
just
not be enough
barely
cards to do a
make out
40 card
creepy
deck,
painting on
but
the wall
eventually
with
will.
eyes that seem to
Like, no
follow you as
doubt.
you move.
Also,
There's a
just
vase
Highlander
covered in
decks.
cobwebs,
Like, Highlander
and-
decks
Wait,
get 10 more
you said
cards,
vase,
so.
right? Like Baroness Vaj.
Yeah.
My first and
Oh, is
final
Vaj gonna be in it?
suspect
That makes sense
is
why
gonna
they're
be
releasing a
Lady
Vaj in the
Baroness
Battlegrounds.
Vaj.
Baroness Vaj, 4 mana 3/6. If it would transform into a minion, summon that minion
She
instead.
always
That's really
suspected
cool.
Denathrius was behind the plot to destroy the House of Eyes.
Interesting.
And Vaj is one to hold a grudge against Denathrius for his grand betrayal.
That's absurd.
In fact, it's very unsurd.
I do not think that means what you think it means.
I've deducted far more than
doesn't.
enough to blow this case wide open. Lady Vaj would lure Denathrius out to the muck pools.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a
get her out in the
lovely
swamp.
time
Get
of
him out in the
year.
swamp where they
Let's
can't
take
find the
falls,
body.
admire, but it's the perfect place to
It
spring a
is,
trap.
yeah. Transform a friendly minion into one that
Vaj
costs
is going to
more.
squish
Oh, is this gonna be
Denathrius.
targeted evolve?
She would need a minion bigger
Again?
than him to do the
Okay, it
squishing.
is. Okay, and it's one
You
mana.
forget that Denathrius is clever and could have easily escaped.
You are precisely
I like these
correct,
enchantments
Val.
a lot.
He
I
did
was
escape,
wondering how long it's
and
gonna
he
take to
used
get
the
like
Door
official
of
enchantments in
Shadows to do
Hearthstone.
so.
Store Shadow Draw spell infuse
So
to
where
add a
do we go?
temporary
Back
copy
to
to
the
your
castle,
hand.
Of course. You both follow
Okay.
the trail, and as you
Okay.
walk inside, you're approached by a suspicious
Road card
usher.
draw.
He smiles wide.
Battle
and
card
pulls
discover
out
legendary minion
3
if you blah,
legendary
blah, blah.
cards.
So if they choose right, they get 1/2.
Detective Liv, I must
So mind
ask
games
you
with your
to
opponent,
pick a
but
card.
I think a lot of
Which is this
times
one?
if there's not
Okay.
more than one like
Detective
very
Valerie,
obvious,
which
then
one
there's
did you
your
pick?
Should be foolish not to have chosen Lyra.
I chose Renathal.
But you already have
Like-
Prince
like-
Renathal.
like-
Having two
like in this
doesn't
video
help
they're
the
going to show her
investigation.
picking something that you
But
probably
now
wouldn't do in a
I've
normal
proven
game.
I am the
Like you
more brilliant
probably
detective.
Yes.
you know,
yes,
like
you're
depending on what the
both
situation is on the board or
brilliant
whatever, you're probably going to
detectives.
know what they're going to pick a lot of
Really
times. So your
something
opponent's going to get what
watching
you
your
get.
work.
So maybe
Who's
this
right?
card's good.
Well,
I don't know.
you both
Discovering a
have
legendary has
different
never been a
places.
super powerful effect,
However,
like, traditionally in
the
Hearthstone.
truth is,
Oh no, another murder!
Looks like we have another case to
glasses.
solve. I'm gonna need another notepad.
I'm gonna go grab my dice.
Okay, Murder at the Castle Nathria, August 2nd. So okay, we do get an early August release. We have a month left. Okay, we have an ending part here. What is this?
we good?
We good?
Okay. Can I keep this?
Okay, let's so I went ahead and pulled up the website here for it all. So well, let's see here. Yeah, so we got this. So let's talk about the things a little bit. I'm gonna give a little bit, some short little breakdown. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. See if we miss anything that didn't say in the trailer. The Shadowlands is normally where souls go after they die. When someone dies in Shadowlands, that's kind of such a kind of mystery. Sire Denathrius invited 10 of his counterparts, enemies, to castle. His counterparts and enemies. So that kind of makes me think that what I said, I think we might see the other like leaders of the Covenant. So we'll see one that I think will be very good towards like druids and shamans and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see like one that's more towards priests and paladins, which is usually like the angels or whatever. So yeah, this is exactly what we were thinking. Wow, they need to hire me already. He was found dead. It seems a gaggle of enemies that give her. I love this theme so much. I'm a big Clue fan. I love the board game. 135 new collectible cards like normal. You can find the reveal schedule here. So, go to the Hearthstone, click on here if you want to see the reveal schedule. I think they start today, maybe. I don't know if this is all the cards we're getting today. So 10 suspicious suspects. He has a lot of enemies, and just happened that 10 of them were under his roof at the time of his demise. Each class will have a legendary minion that is a prime suspect in the Nathria's murder. They will all have means and a motive, but it's up to you and Murloc Holmes to determine who is guilty. Okay, so we saw this. Murloc Holmes, so 3 and 3/4 got Spider Tank stats, and I think that his ability, depending on the card pool and how many cards are going to be in decks going forward, depends on how good this card is. It kind of like, my gut is telling me this card is not going to see a ton of play, that it's going to be kind of like the cool Mimi card of the set, but maybe it will. You might put it in like a Highlander deck eventually to like draw or whatever, because in Wild it may be more popular because there's more cards. There's a lot more bad cards that you don't see in decks and stuff like that. Baroness Vosh, we talked about this card a little bit. I don't incredibly like the evolve mechanic. I think this is something I wish Shaman would go away from for a while, but Freeze was definitely not, didn't turn out to be as like happy and positive with the community that I thought it'd be. So maybe if they do it right, it'll be fine. The cards they should say with evolve so far seem like they're pretty fine and pretty strong and in a better way, But she is cheap. She has pretty good stats for her mana, all right. And it's good to see her again. She's a really popular character. You might see a new skin from her. Who knows? Decimator Olgra. So we see Olgra, which, people know her. And 6 mana, 3/7, battle cry, gain +1/+1 for each damage minion, then attack all enemies. This card's really cool because it seems like it could be a top end for some kind of aggro damage based warrior deck. It could also be in some kind of warrior control deck that use it kind of like a samurai almost, right? And that seems really good. Just like fresh take or whatever, without saying anything else. Infuse. So infuse is that mechanic that goes along with like what's the mechanic to compare it to? Is it just mechanics that require you? I think maybe the Naga one is probably a very good comparison, because effects that require these cards to be in your hand and things to die on the battlefield or be played, for them to happen. Obviously some of these will be really good, but you will have to draw these, so if the card isn't very playable all by itself, there's a good chance a lot of these are just never going to see play, because just like, unless the upgrade effect is incredible and it's just like worth building your deck around. But like cards like this, these are pretty basic. This is a spell draw card. I could see Rogue easily playing this card. A 4/5 for Infuse 3. Infuse 3 is a lot. But maybe in Druid, where we have like tokens and stuff like that, and we have a loon to copy this card, get 2 4/5s. And we do have the taunt guy still, so this is a very interesting thing. And Druid does get a lot of things that die in the token decks, so I like the mechanic. I still am just like, I wish that we had less mechanics that involve things that just happen while they're in your hand, because most of the cards end up being trash. But I do like it. New card type locations. I love this. I call them enchantments in the video a lot. If you don't know, Magic the Gathering, they have enchantments, which are just like permanent, like things you play onto the battlefield that stay on the battlefield until they're destroyed. These are very similar, which they're not minions, they're not spells, but they're things you put on the battlefield and they do things. So, and you can use them X amount of turns. So they're actually more similar to oh crap, what's type of magic enchantment? I think they're called like storybooks kind of, or whatever. So like they go through a cycle over 3 turns. Well, that's kind of what these are, because you can just use these 3 turns in a row and use them. And if these are kind of cool because you can play them on turn 1, and they don't lose their ability per turn, so you actually can use these whenever you want to. So this gives more decks turn 1 plays, which is always good for decks that become more competitive, because decks that don't do anything in the early game usually get overrun in some fashion. And this can be a removal spell in the early game. Like, you know, if they play like a peasant or something like that, you can kill it. So that's kind of cool. I like this effect a lot. I can't wait to see what all the other ones are. Please don't make the druid one. Give your guy attack. I don't need that. I hope the druid one's not a quest support. Really, I don't think that would be the funnest thing in the world. Location gameplay rule. Let's see, and then we get a reveal thing on Friday, July 1st. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty. You know, it's coming up pretty soon. So a lot of stuff. And we do get this card. Yeah, so, you know, not to be negative or anything, but I think, you know, this, you know, Master Tours, you know, stuff is coming up and big tournaments are coming up, and if this is illegal, then this is definitely going to warp the meta, probably. There will be some decks probably that play it, so that could be a good or a bad thing. I don't know, depending on what people think. I definitely makes, you know, preparation a lot harder. But I can't wait to play this card today. It's going to be really, really fun. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. But yeah, if you like what we saw, and you like the content on the channel and all that kind of stuff, then click the like button and bonk the subscribe button for more Hearthstone and Druid content on the channel. And happy diving, everyone.